Hello, everyone. Officially. My name is Olga Klamut, and I'm a PhD student at Charles University at the first faculty of medicine, and I'm doing my PhD in a very broad field of, oh, someone else coming in, medical psychology. And I'm focusing on interoception, like me and Mark were just talking about, and time perspective, and also more people coming in. Yay. Hi. Hi, Elena. Hi, Marco.
Hi, hello.
Hello. Okay, so I'm just introducing myself now and more or less what I do and why I'm going to be talking about the embodiment of a balanced time perspective today. I won't really be talking about it though. I'm going to be kind of guiding you through a relaxation, guiding you through your own personal embodiment of the of a balanced time perspective. So apart from, like I was saying before, apart from doing my PhD right now in medical psychology, so working with interoception and kind of like the awareness of our nervous system and how we self-regulate in terms of how we perceive time. And a balanced time perspective is very, very in tune with that in terms of um, we know a lot about mindfulness and meditation, and it's very popular nowadays in the sense of self-regulation and dealing with stress. And that's exactly what a balanced time perspective is, and how to embody that, and how to also embody our own time perspective profile, and how to really feel in our bodies where we are in the moment. If we're getting a bit distorted to the past, future, whether it's positive, negative, hedonistic, and so on. And it is possible to feel how our body reacts to all those time perspective profiles, to actually feel by increasing our interoception and our awareness of self-regulation, to feel how our nervous systems respond to where our thoughts are placed and where our psyche is placed in the present moment, not in the present moment, but where it's placed in terms of time perspective. So we're going to be going through that, and why I'm also interested in this, because apart from my academic work, I'm also a yoga teacher and a somatic stress release therapist. So I work with clients with their stress and their somatics. All right, one more person coming in. Perfect timing before we start. So this won't be long. It'll be about, we have until 45. I want to leave about 5-10 minutes at the end for questions and discussion, and also some feedback from everyone about how you felt during. So how this is gonna look, what's it gonna look like? I just want you to sit back and relax and listen to my voice. We're gonna do a few exercises with the breath. Hi, Lenning. Nice to
Hi,
see
yoga.
you. And then I'm going to lead you through, it's kind of like a guided meditation. So you could sit back, relax, close your eyes or not. Just listen. And I will be sending you into the chat a link. It's for some background music if you wish. So if you could mute yourself, and there you go. It's in there. It's in the chat. So if you could mute yourself, I won't be playing it on my computer. And then just gently play it in the background so it doesn't override my voice. Okay. All right. And we'll begin. So sit back and relax. You could have your camera on or off, however you feel comfortable. There you go. All right. So what is embodiment in general? We can think about different concepts. We can have thoughts pertaining to the past, to the present, to the future, but it all shows up in our present moment in the body as well. If we're thinking about the past, we also feel it in our body as well. I don't want to trigger anyone, but if we think about a past negative perspective or a past negative situation, we feel that tension in our bodies. Oftentimes, our bodies go back to the felt sense of a situation from the past. If we, in terms of the other side of the spectrum, if we're thinking about the future, we can also embody future perspectives if we imagine what we would like to have in the future, how we would like to feel in the future. That's what motivational speech and motivational feelings also feel like. We're coming into the body with what we would like to perceive in the future, as opposed to, of course, the more negative side of it. And if we're feeling anxious about something in the future, if we're feeling a bit scared or timid about something that we're imagining that could happen in the future, we also feel that in our bodies. So what we're going to do today is embody the present moment and the balanced time perspective. So I'd just like you to close your eyes at the beginning. We're going to do a few exercises that are going to ground us. Just tuning into what's happening around you, observing your breath. And we'll start out with a short breathing exercise that we often use in yoga. It's called the pranayama, and it balances out left brain and right brain, and it literally balances out our sinuses. So if you could take your right hand and take your thumb onto your right nostril and just cover your right nostril with your thumb. And your middle finger is just going to go in between your eyes. That's just going to make it comfortable for you. And we're going to take a deep breath through the left nostril. And then cover your left nostril and exhale through the right. So it's alternate nostril breathing. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left nostril. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. And last round, inhaling through the left. Exhaling through the right. And letting your hand fall. Coming back to your normal breath and just witnessing, just observing your breath. That was a very shortened version. Of course, sometimes this alternate nostril breathing we can do for up to like 20 minutes, half an hour. Just really balance out the sinuses, balance out the breath on both sides. So the next activity, the next guidance I'm going to take you through is we're going to work with contrast a little bit. So like in order to feel what it's like to be in the present moment, sometimes we need to put ourselves in contrast to that and feel what it's not like to be in the present moment. So we perceive the world with our senses. We perceive everything with our senses. It's the information, the sensory input that our brains take in and they analyze. And all of our reactions, our nervous system reacts to that. So I'd just like you to continue having your eyes closed if that feels nice for you, if that feels comfortable. And just imagine a place of comfort, of safety in the past, a memory that you had, a memory where you feel comfortable, where you felt safe and warm. And take yourself to that place. Right away, your imagination is going to do its thing and zoom you back to wherever, and feel your body in this place. Where are you? Are you sitting? Are you standing? What are the points of contact with the space around you? Whether it's your feet, your back. What temperature surrounds you? How does that feel like on your body? What smells surround you in this place, in this time? Are there any distinct sounds that you associate with this memory? Are the sounds close by? Are they distant? Is there a particular taste that you can feel associated with this time, with this memory? And also, if you could name 3 objects surrounding you, just visualizing them in this place, in your memory in the past. Three distinct things, objects that your vision can pick up on. Now take a deep breath, exhaling through the mouth. And I'd like you to, in order to reset the memory, just to shake your hands a little bit. Shake your hands, shake your fingers, just shake it out a bit. Beautiful. And coming back, eyes closed, and I'd like you to imagine now something you're looking forward to. Maybe a place that you're going or a vacation that you might be planning. Or maybe it's a place that you've always wanted to visit. Maybe it's your own backyard. Just let your mind guide you. Follow that first impulse of a thought. And imagine yourself in that place. And again, what sounds are surrounding you in this place? What's the nearest sound to your body? What's the sound that's most far away, most distant? What's the temperature surrounding you? Are there any sensations that your body is picking up on? Maybe it's wind, maybe it's water. Maybe it's whatever you're standing or sitting on. How does that feel? The texture. Are there any smells that you're picking up on in this place? Is there a particular taste that's associated with this vision, with this memory, future memory? And again, what are 3 objects surrounding you? Try to focus on them in your imagination in this place that you're looking forward to. And we're going to take in a deep breath, exhaling through the mouth. Coming back from that memory, from that vision. You can gently move your neck side to side. Again, shaking out the hands. I always say that this hand shaking, it's like a reset. You know how you smell coffee in between perfumes? That's kind of what we're doing here with resetting the body, resetting that energy. All right, so now we're just going to observe the present moment and how we're going to do that. So what's always available to us is the breath. So this is something that is always said, whether you're in any mindfulness, yoga practice or not. But it's very difficult, actually, to be aware of our breath. It's something that is so common. It's always there. We don't usually focus on what our breath is telling us and how it is, what it's like. So just to observe the breath, I'd like you to put your hands onto your chest and just gently press. This is called yielding. It's like we're yielding gently into the body. So not much pressure, but just gently pressing onto the chest just to feel that touch. And try to breathe into your hands. So what we're working with here is learning how to guide our breath, focusing on different aspects, different parts of our breath. Just imagine pushing your hands away with your breath. It's very gentle, it's very subtle, it's not forced. And just seeing what that feels like, just observing. And now taking the hands onto your ribs. So our elbows gently fly out and just around our rib cage. And the same thing here. We're going to be breathing into our palms, into our hands. So what we want to find here is that 3D, three-dimensional quality of our breath, how we often imagine our chest rising and falling. But our breath is three-dimensional. We breathe into our ribs. They widen and they get more narrow. It's just feeling that quality of your breath. And now taking the hands onto your belly. And again, just gently, gently pressing in, just to make that contact, skin to skin. And whatever this means to you, directing your breath into your palms, into your hands. And also remembering that there is no right or wrong way to breathe right now. All we're doing right now is observing. All of our breaths are different. Of course, if we're working with a specific technique of breath, there are ways to do this technique. But right now, we are only observing. And now just let your hands fall gently to the sides. And we're going to continue observing the breath just as it is. Now, while you're doing this, some other automatic places in our body that often get tense that I'd like you to just witness are your arms. Let your arms just gently fall down, your elbows, unclenching the jaw, just letting your lower jaw gently fall, seeing how that feels like. Oftentimes, these are things that we don't focus on. We can spend hours with our jaw clenched, with our tongue clenched, this whole area around our neck. And it's all a domino effect into different tensions in our body as well. So now I'd like you to imagine the journey of your breath. From that first inhale, when you're inhaling through your nose, imagine where your breath is going in the inhale. Also imagining the point in your body where it turns around into your exhale. Just imagine the road that your breath is taking. You could pinpoint that first inhale, seeing where it goes. And again, we're only observing, so also observe what kind of a picture your mind, your imagination paints when you imagine the road of your breath, the way of your breath. Great. So now, with your eyes closed, I'd like you to just feel and focus on the points of contact you have right now with whatever surface you're on that you're touching, whether it's a chair, the ground. Which parts of your body do you feel in contact with the surface? Maybe your back is against a chair. If it is, maybe sensing, where does this chair end? Which point on your back is the last furthest point of contact with your chair? Also sensing, what are your hands in contact with? Sensing how your fingers are placed in contact with each other. Also sensing the clothes that you're wearing. Let's focus on the shirt. So where does your shirt sleeve end? Do you feel that point on your arm? Perhaps sensing where your collar begins or the neckline of whatever you're wearing. And what is the closest sound that you could hear right now? Can you hear your breath when you inhale and exhale? And what is the furthest sound at the moment that you can find? Really stretching your balance time perspective, your focus in the here and now. Are there any smells surrounding you? And also notice how sometimes we don't have the definition or the word for whatever our senses are picking up on, but just the fact that they're picking up on something is information, is a part of our observation. So for example, if you can't pick up on any particular smells, that lack of smell is also sensory information. There's never a time when our senses are not working, not picking up on information. So now focusing on the taste. What taste can you feel right now? And again, with keeping your eyes closed, if you could just imagine 5 objects in the room around you. And try to name them in your mind. For example, if you know that there's a couch in front of you, say in your mind, red couch. And when you're finished, putting your hands back on your belly and taking 3 deep breaths into the palms of your hands. Also observing whatever thoughts are coming up. Observing whatever emotions may be arising. Again, this is whenever we go out of observation into, for example, judgment or expectations. Should I be thinking this? Should I be feeling that? Or I don't want to be thinking this. I don't want to be thinking that. We're taken out of the present moment. We immediately get taken out of that balanced time perspective. So again, just observing, taking it all in as information. Data. We all love data. And slowly take an exhale. Open your eyes. Stretch out if you'd wish. That brings me to a finish of the guided part. Thank you very much for taking part in this. And I'd love to hear from you. Unmute yourselves, questions, feedback, anything. How do you feel?
Olga, I didn't sleep. I didn't have the best sleep possible. This guided meditation has made me feel 1,000,000 times better. Oh my God. Cannot explain it in more words. Beyond thank you. I feel on my A game now.
Yes, back on your A game. Thank you. I'm so
Olga,
glad.
I am glad I came. I also felt sleepy in a good way, and also some discoveries. It was like some movements. I am with myself, like this little movements that I don't do usually. I think I will take them. And the way you gave your instructions, like this, like breathe in your hands, and then like little not yielding, but breathing in. And when the hands are back, are they between, where they are, like there?
Oh, on the ribs, they're on the sides. But if you want to put them on your back, I would suggest on your lower back.
Lower back. That's
because that's more comfortable for your arms and your elbows as well. So on your lower back, and also, yeah, breathing into your hands.
And also, I think of course, we all did these things many times, but I think you really brought my attention the last thing about like data, how we come out of observations and then back, and this observation stance, like participant observer attitude. Yeah. It's a great one, and it was just like connected. I like it very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's the thing. It is the connection. Like from a more philosophical, like yogic perspective, it's the connection of the mind, body, soul, right? But in terms of it's very similar to time perspective. We're connecting past, present, future, because of course, like past memories and experiences, and also what we're looking forward to or anxious towards in the future, that also influences how present we can be and how we interact with the present moment. So it's also finding that interconnection with the balance in the middle. So,
and it's very pleasant sleepiness, like really with like, it's a treasure.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you got to experience that.
I found most striking when we touched ourselves while breathing, on the chest or on the ribs, because then you suddenly felt this oscillating movement, or the amplitude of your breathing in and out. Normally, what I'm used to in meditation, mindful breathing meditation, is of course that you breathe in, breathe out through the nostrils, and you sense, for example, a different temperature or something. But this adds quite a striking component, I think, that you're suddenly more aware about also the spatial component, about the cyclic nature of the breathing. So that was the most striking for me.
Yeah, Mark, I think that it's interesting. You pointed out the same sensation but you put words that are important, like the spatial. And you know, Olga, another word that I will take away, the road of your breath.
Yeah.
Because usually it's hard for me to imagine, and sometimes instructions like the breathe, like your breath travels through your body, it's sort of difficult, but just the road, it was very short for me. So, but this, I have this synesthesia, the word road is of a special color, but the road was short, but it was still imaginable. And it was lovely. It had this, as Mark said, spatial thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm glad that you speak about that, because with the road of the breath, I wanted to keep it a little vague, but also to give you at least one hint, so then your imagination can do your own thing. Because I'm sure everyone imagined something different, and to observe your own reaction. Because oftentimes, like when I'm teaching a yoga practice, I don't go as vague. I actually paint the road. So for example, like, you know, in cartoons, how you sometimes see the wind, they're like swirls. You can imagine those swirls going in and out of your body. Or for example, an elevator going down and going back up. So I didn't give you exact pictures, for example, the swirls or the elevator, because I wanted, that's like when working with interoception, our minds always paint their own pictures. So I wanted you to observe what exact picture your mind was painting, and not give you my own picture, but also, so it's like giving a little bit of instruction, so kind of forming the space, but leaving the freedom inside of that space to observe your own reaction.
For me, it worked better. I mean, I really appreciated this vague situation.
Great. I'm glad to hear that.
Hi, this is Ivan. I'm sorry, I don't have a camera, but I discovered two really interesting things on my case. And one of them is that it's really hard to dominate the present, to be like fully present, oriented or pay attention. Just random thoughts were coming to my mind. So it was a little bit hard for me. And another thing that I discovered is that it was also hard for me to imagine the future. With the past, when you were talking about the past, I had a really clear image. I felt that really warm. It was really easy for me to go to that stage of my life. But when we get to the part of the future, and I have always, I like to think that I am a future-oriented person, but I just discovered that I couldn't imagine that future with a clear image as I did with the past. So that's maybe a message that I'm getting, that I need to work on that and have a clear image of the future that I want. Yeah. Because that's something that really got my attention. And I also got really, really well relaxed. And I feel that the stress went away. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad you got relaxed. And that's interesting what you say. So you're saying how you've always thought that you're more future oriented. So again, we're talking about cognition, right? But yes, when we dropped into the body, when we're talking about embodiment, your body kind of shows you that it's more comfortable in the past. So that's interesting also to see a question, right? A question, is our time perspective always, is it the same in cognition and in embodiment, right?
Right, exactly.
Very interesting. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay, hi. I'm sorry I was late, but I definitely going to watch it again when they publish recordings.
Great, great. Glad to have you, even at the end, even at the discussion. Great. Well, we are at 45. So I want to thank you all very much for joining me, for sharing your feedback, and I'll see you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.